Welcome back to WagerTalk.com. I'm Marco D'Angelo, joined by Brian Leonard. Brian, we're going to break down Houston at Cleveland. This is going to be my free play. But I got to tell you, last Thursday night, and I was texting you a couple times through the game, you had to be ecstatic at what you were watching with the Cleveland Browns. For those who don't know, he comes from that sad town of Cleveland, 2.5 hours away from the city that has 6 Super Bowl trophies. Big Browns fan, you have to be happy with Thursday night.
Not necessarily. I teased Cincinnati down to 1. But a quick little story before we get into the breakdown of this game. I was up in Reno this weekend, and I went out to a sporting goods outlet, and I'm looking at the, you know how they put things on clearance? Usually you put jerseys on clearance when players get traded, or if they're going to jail, or if they committed a crime. They had Johnny Manziel jerseys on clearance. A guy who is still playing for the team. I have never seen that before.
A guy that has not taken a snap yet.
He's taken 2 snaps. I think he's thrown 1 pass or something. But I've never seen a guy who's actually still on the team that they put on.
Browns fans are pretty fickle, aren't they?
Yeah.
But seriously, they played an absolutely, I don't know, watching the game, was the Cleveland Browns that good? Or was Cincinnati that bad? Because what the hell has happened with Cincinnati?
There's been talk, the players talked about it. They go, no, we knew what the plays were. Even when they come to the line of scrimmage and do the audible, we knew what the play was. They knew Cincinnati's offense so well. They were so predictable. They knew what was coming. Now, so take that into account from now on for Cleveland's games. They're never going to look as good as they did that game against Cincinnati.
Are you trying to say that no team is as good as their best game?
I heard somebody say that on the radio the other day.
Yeah, and it wasn't me.
Well, obviously, nobody would take that without giving credit.
No, absolutely not. Yeah, a little inside joke, guys. Last week I was driving down the road, and I heard one of my Marco-isms on the radio used by my former employer. And as usual, no credit given. But that's okay. It was flattering. I guess that was his birthday present to me. Flattering.
That was nice. My birthday's coming up this weekend.
You are, and so you should respect me because I am your elder. We are the same
like a
age.
week, right?
A week. Yeah, I was last Thursday.
Last Thursday. I'm this Saturday with it. 9 days.
There you go. All right. I'll take you to Denny's for your free breakfast after the video.
I guess that'll be twice I'll be going there this week.
Yeah, all right. All right, let's get to this one. Your Cleveland Browns, honestly, Brian, they played that game, and the announcers, if you were listening to the announcers, they kept saying over and over how the Browns came into this game looking at it like it was a playoff game. Obviously, with the standings, it was there. But for Cleveland, this was the biggest game they've had in a long time because there was a national spotlight game, and it was a significant national spotlight game. They've played, here and there, they might because they were playing the Steelers or playing Baltimore, and it was, a Thursday night or whatever. But this is the first time that it had meaning for both sides. And quite frankly, they came out and knocked the snot out of Cincinnati. Are they ripe for a letdown?
If you're a new coach and you're coming into this division when you've got Cincinnati, Cleveland, Pittsburgh, and Baltimore, the best way to make the local fans love you is to beat your rivals. And they've actually played very well against these teams in their division. Now they're going out of division here, and this is a situation. I've had people from Cleveland tweeting out, hey, our first place Browns alone in first place. In fact, Cleveland, I believe right now, would host a playoff game if the season ended right now. So obviously the players are hearing all this. The fans are in love with it, and you're playing a team that's coming off of a bye.
Now, I have to ask you as a Cleveland Brown fan, seriously, when you talk about your rivals, they have the division. For Cleveland, it's a unique situation. To me, every one of the opponents in the division is a hardcore rival because there's always been the Pittsburgh-Cleveland rivalry because of the proximity. Then because Baltimore was the old Cleveland, that's a big, rivalry. And then Cleveland-Cincinnati, you have the Battle of Ohio. I would say, other than the fact that this was the Thursday night game and that, would you rank them? How would you rank them as the biggest rivals?
Well, obviously, the least of the three is Cincinnati. Because you can go to Cincinnati and wear a Browns jersey and people don't care. Cincinnati's that kind of a town. I love Cincinnati. The Baltimore situation, a little bit different. In Pittsburgh, I've never wanted to go to a Steelers game wearing a Browns jersey. Let me just put it that way. I love my wife, and I want to make sure that I'm around.
That's not what she told me. She asked me to take you to a Steelers game. I don't understand why.
You bought the tickets.
One for Marco.
There you go.
All right, we're going to go here. I got to look at this. I have to take Houston, guys. This is just a situation. You know I'm a situational handicapper. That game was too huge for Houston, or for Cleveland. Now they're playing a team out of the division, and they're playing a team that's had 2 weeks to prepare for them. Not only do they have 2 weeks to prepare, they made a quarterback switch in that 2-week period. They're going to go to Ryan Mallett in this game. And Coach Bill O'Brien, he's familiar with Mallett. He went out and got Mallett from his days when he was at New England before he went to Penn State. So he sees something in Mallett that he likes. He's had 2 weeks to come up with a game plan that's going to suit Mallett. So the combination of Cleveland's going to have an uncertainty because you don't know what they're going to come out with because you've got a new quarterback. They're going to have new plays. They're going to have, different things. They're not going to run the exact same offense that they were running with Fitzpatrick behind center. And then you got Cleveland with the letdown situation. So the combination of the two, I got to jump on Houston here. And the Houston defense has not played bad. You got J.J. Watt in there. And Brian Hoyer, what a story with him, what he's done. But I just can't see this team getting the job done. Houston has held 3 of the last 4 opponents to under 100 yards rushing. And prior to last week, in Cleveland ran for 52 times for like 170 yards. They struggled the 3 previous games running the football. I think they're going to struggle again here. I'm on Houston. I've got them winning outright 23-17.
Yeah, ever since the center Mack was injured, the running game has really suffered. I think Houston's going to come out with a conservative game plan because you do have the quarterback back there. This will be his first career start, by the way. With New England, he didn't start other than preseason. So maybe you take a look at the under in this game also.
Another good possibility on the play there. I say to take Houston. Hey, guys, when you head over to wagertalk.com, if you like one of the cappers we have, you like Brian, you like me, you want all of our plays for the weekend, check out the all-weekend access. Get all access all the way through Monday, Thursday through Monday, just $69. That includes all of our big plays. Yes, when we have a 5% play, it is included in the all-access weekend. That's it for this one. We're going to come back. Brian's going to give you some NFL, something a little different this week. You thought you liked that Wake Forest NC State game? Well, he's going to bring you some teasers for Sunday.
Winners are winners.
They are good, but seriously, Brian is great on teasers, and we're going to break down some very profitable, I think, positive EV plays on Sunday. That's up next. WagerTalk.com.